So we've seen what happens when we do machine sliced or static slicing methods using a machine to install silt fence. But what if you can't use a machine? How do you install silt fence? Well, this is woven wire back silt fence, which is a typical spec when machine slicing or static slicing is not available. But there's a few critical elements you have to keep in mind. First of all, when you're installing silt fence, you have to dig a trench. That trench should be a minimum of 6 to 8 inches deep. Apply your post. Keep in mind your post spacing is also a critical component. These are actually spaced 5 feet on center. That means there's 5 feet between each of these metal T-posts. You wrap the fabric in the trench along with the woven wire backing. It's then tied to these metal T-posts using 3 zip ties placed appropriate on that silt fence. Then that trench becomes compacted when you put the soil material back on that fabric. Oftentimes that's something where the fabric will give way. So this is one of the most important pieces. Also, along with that, you want to make sure that your silt fence is installed according to your SWIP. You want to make sure that it's located, that it's properly managed as far as installation, and that it's maintained according to how the SWIP indicates its maintenance needs to be. Now, finally, let's talk a little bit about maintenance and what happens when silt fence needs maintenance. You can see here we've got a drainage area, concentrated drainage area coming to this area. Silt fence is maintained when it reaches 1/3 its lateral capacity. So if I'm looking at this silt fence fabric, I know if there's any soil material that's any higher than where my hand is located, I need to maintain this. I can't just expect that this silt fence can keep experiencing its sediment control during precipitation events. So anytime it gets 1/3 its capacity, I need to maintain it. Generally, done by hand. Again, using hand tools or some type of piece of equipment like a bobcat or a smaller piece of equipment. So installation, proper installation according to your SWIP, proper maintenance, and this is a fantastic BMP that will perform very well for you. But keep in mind, if it's not installed properly or maintained, it will fail.
We're inspecting all of our BMPs, our wire-backed silt fence. It's in place at the perimeter of our job site. Pretty much installed before any land disturbing activities begin. We need something downgrade of all our exposed soil so that any sediment that erodes, starts to get away from us, is prevented from leaving our job site. Doesn't leave our property. Once it gets on the other side of the line, we've got a cleanup issue and some potential liability as well. We're going to keep an eye on the toe down here. We want to make sure that any water concentrated flows tend to build up against these things, that it's not undermining or outwashing our constructed backfill. We'll give this a tug once in a while. It's firmly in the ground, it's in place. Keep an eye on the product itself. Make sure the wind, the weather, or errant heavy equipment hasn't damaged it. Get it fixed. If we get tears or rips in this stuff, we can patch that or replace the entire panel as necessary. Sometimes spray glue and a patch of silt fence fabric works wonders for fixing this stuff over time. This is a brand new installation. It looks great. We just need to keep our eye on it throughout the life of our permit and project.